Good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, back once again for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Russian Grand Prix. And with me is my co-commentator, as always, he is back. Oliver, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. A good race yesterday in GP3, and can't wait to get going again for GP2. And with who could... I'm going to repeat that same question that I always got to ask you, Tim. Who is going to stop Carwin Rob from winning this championship? It's going to be a matter of time before he wins that championship now. But 19 cars in the field today. What a lineup!
Yeah, it's almost a full grid here for the GP2 series today, and it's going to be a fantastic show. Last week, of course, it was no shortage of action, which actually saw Carwin Rob DNF out of the session. However, it was Max Iris who also DNF'd out of the session, so he could not gain on his championship rival. The winner last week is our third in points. That is Timo in the Mercedes. He's got 4 wins on the season now. Second place was Asian 2002 in his debut race for the GP2 series this season. He finishes in second after just getting the full-time drive in the McLaren. And of course, third, it was none other than X-Gamer getting that third position in that Ferrari.
So Timo won the Grand Prix then yesterday, in last week's race.
That he did. His 4th win of the season and his 5th podium.
My word, that guy can drive.
He definitely can. You know, we were always talking about it, Oliver. Imagine if Timo had joined us at the beginning of the season, what would the championship battle be looking like now? He's already worked his way up into 3rd in the points. Now, Carwin Rob, he is still, of course, 1st with 215 points. 132 points belongs to Max Iris. And then Timo, get this, 126 points. He is 6 points out of 2nd place, and he has ran about half the races.
This guy, man, he's in it. He's definitely in. Oh, we got a full grid. Trench has joined us, so we've got a full grid. Full grid for GP2, amazing scenes.
And a full grid at Russia, no less. So how many time penalties are we going to have to deal with at the end of the day?
Plenty, I would say. Now, if you was Timo, Tim, going into this race, because he's got, of course, Morris is going to help him out the best he can, and Mansell's going to help him out the best he can, because Mansell's the race engineer for the Burt team. But so we got the other drivers who's got race engineers as well. It's going to be a good Grand Prix, because the starts will last around 10 to 12 laps, and the medians will probably last 15 or 18 laps, so it's going to be interesting strategy today.
Of course, Russia, it benefits very brave drivers around this race course, because you really have to send it pretty quickly through these corners, but you've got to be so precise around here, because as we were saying, we're going to have a lot of time penalties that we have to deal with today. This is going to be time penalty central. You go a little bit too wide, and you have already invalidated your lap, and you're getting a 3-second time penalty. So that is how this race could be won or lost today, is just who stays on track all day.
Funny enough, I didn't collect any time penalties yesterday, so I was pretty happy about that.
And you know, sometimes that is just how you got to do it, Oliver, is you just got to make sure to not pick up any time penalties. But you said you had a good race in GP3 today. I don't think that you're not really giving yourself enough credit. You finished 2nd. That's another podium for you.
I mean, yeah, I can't go wrong with another podium, and
so we'll just wait and see who is going to be the first to blink. Something's wrong with Oliver, apparently, so we'll wait on him. Meanwhile, we'll just wait and see who the first blink is for this qualifying session, and it is a full 20 cars today. Going to be in a fantastic showing. Honestly surprised that no one else has decided to blink, but I think I hear a car starting up and going now. Who will it be? Who will be able to beat Carwin Rob? Will anyone be able to beat Carwin Rob, or are we going to see another Haas domination? We do have a few cars going out on track now. They could let me manually control the camera angles. I could tell you just who they are, but there is King Verstappen in the Ferrari. He is the first driver out on track, and he's decided to go on the medium tire. And if he's able to start on that medium tire, that will definitely give him a little bit of a benefit in the later stages of the race when you're on that soft tire. The soft tire around here, it's not going to last very long, sadly enough. It just does not have the tire life that it may have around other tracks. So it's mainly a qualifying tire, and sure, you're going to be out there for a few laps, but I'd say anywhere from 7 to 10. That is going to be your tire window for the soft tires. So if you can start on those medium tires and extend that first stint, then you can make your soft tires last a little bit longer due to the less fuel that your car is going to be carrying. So we'll see if King Verstappen is able to do that. Of course, this is just going to be his banker lap, his very first lap. The track will get a little bit grippier, a little bit hotter, a little bit quicker as the session goes on.
There you are, now I'm back. Sorry about that.
Well, you haven't missed anything, Oliver. King Verstappen just now about to start his flying lap. He was the first driver to blink and go out in that very bright red Ferrari.
Now, I was impressed with King Verstappen in Imola when he debuted in GP3. He literally just cruised. He didn't even break a sweat. So this one now Verstappen at GP2, hopefully gets a lot more challenged. Did he race last week, Tim Verstappen?
He did race. Not the best of results, sadly, for him. So going to be looking for a lot of redemption in the Ferrari today.
But it was very impressive him. Very, very impressive him in GP2. Well, not in GP3, sorry. So, and he looks like he's on the medium compound tyre. Just go through this section, this sector 2, where time penalties will be a major factor. It is going to be sector 2. Go through fifth gear, go past the stadium section, past the ice hockey arena. Of course, this was built around the Olympic Park in 20. I'm trying to think what year it was. Was it 2014? Yeah, 2014's Winter Olympic Park. So, which is going to be hosted in China this year.
See,
and it keep Verstappen towards the final 3 quarters.
I didn't know that this place was actually built around the Olympic Park, Oliver, so that's a nice little fact that I was able to learn today.
Yeah, well, the Winter Olympics, he validated through the second to last corner. Lucky there for Keith Verstappen.
Might have been a good lap otherwise, so let's see who's going to be the first driver to set a timed lap. They're going to set the bar, and it's going to be Chain Game. Wow, a 132.535 on the medium compound tire. Now we've got Luke Bailey in the Alfa Romeo, and he has went quickest, a 131. Is that a 9? It is a 9.74.
The Mercs will literally trail each other. They look like they're playing the slipstream at the moment, which is the Mercs. Got other cars starting to come through now. We got Martin going fastest now, 31.3. Good work lap there for Martin. Here comes Morris. Goes into 5th, and his teammate will be next. Oh, good lap for Timo, Tim. 32.2. Really good lap there for Timo on the medium compound.
Going to 4th quickest, and now we'll take a look at Carwin Robinson. He's in the pits, going to X Gamer in the Ferrari. He is in the 3rd and final sector. Let's see what kind of lap time he can set down, as Jime has now gone the quickest with a 130.954. The track getting a little bit quicker as we've got 13 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. X Gamer rounding the final 2 corners in the Ferrari, and let's see what kind of lap time he can put down. No invalidation, it's all good, and he crosses the line. He goes to 2nd, a 131.090.
X Gamer is coming back to his old form now. It's good to see from X Gamer in the Ferrari.
And King Verstappen, he is invalidated once again. We got Max Iris, though. He is on a lap, so we will ride on board with the Red Bull driver. 2nd place in the point standings, and see just what he is all about today in Russia.
Verstappen, Max Iris needs to start putting up some results now, because he could have took the advantage of Karen Rob's DNF, but unfortunately he DNF'd himself. But with those 2 DNFs, he's put Timo right into the picture for this championship, so what team is doing on that medium compound tire is playing the mind games at the moment. Wants to play the medium compound compared to soft compound games. He's still on that 31.2, and Morris has gone into sixth from doing 2 laps on medium tires. Well done from Morris.
And sometimes it can be very beneficial for you if you can just get a few laps on that medium compound tire. Of course, you're going to get a brand new medium set for the race. But if you need to use 2 of them for whatever reason, then having a couple of laps on it as a scuff could really pay dividends for you, just because it takes time to get those medium tires to where they need to be. As Max Iris goes 5th quickest, a 131.912 in the Red Bull. We'll go ahead and take a look now at Trench in the Haas.
There's a sort of Haas's own Grand Prix, would you say, Tim?
Yeah, it really is. And for those of you saying no, it's not, yeah, it is. And Trench in the final corner, let's see what kind of lap time he's going to set down. He goes to 5th quickest, a 131.898.
Very good lap there for Trench.
Looks like Carwin Robb is now on his out lap. Let's take a look at the McLaren of Gadabo. His teammate, Asian 2002, second place last week, is 4th at the moment, a 131.628. Gadabo, meanwhile, we'll see what he's able to do as he is in the 2nd sector on this race course, or about to enter the 2nd sector, rather.
I'm watching Cassie at the moment, who's just a bit ahead of him, so we're very interested what compared times they'll be doing, because it's the end of the 2nd sector.
Cassidy in the Alpine, Gadabo in the McLaren. We have got just a handful of drivers left who have not set a lap time, but most of the drivers have, and it is very close on the board.
Cassidy's done a 104 there, 104.6 I saw there, so be interested what Gadabo is going to do.
Here is Cassidy in the Alpine. Oh, and he gets that bump, but a nice correction there from Cassidy. That's a corner that you really want to short shift into, but he's not happy with the lap, and he pulls down into the pits anyway.
And it goes Gadabo through that same section, gets there a lot more cleaner than Cassidy. Oh, Rogue Smithy is out. Rogue Smithy is out from the session, disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Oh, that's a shame.
And I bet that what happened is he probably spun, something happened, and then it just decided to disqualify him. That is something that happens. It's beyond our control, and I do wish that we could override that, because we've seen it many times ruin someone's race, ruin their qualifying, and there's just no sense in it.
Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. But in 18th, Carwin Robb has started his first flying run. The championship leader's on track.
On board with the Haas driver. Using a lot of curb there, but keeping it very steady, very straight. A lot of power through that section. Wow, Carwin Robb, he is a man on a mission today, activating that DRS as soon as he possibly can, and he has got a fantastic run down this very long straightaway. Let's see how he's able to brake for this corner. Just how hard is he going to have to get on the brakes, and what gear does he use? Way down the gears into 2nd, short shift into 3rd. Fantastic run. I am thoroughly impressed with the pace that he has through this section.
He's absolutely flying, isn't he? He wants to get this Haas car up the field and towards the top guys, because he now realizes if he keeps on DNFing, Timo and Max Iris is going to be on his backside. So this is a very important lap. Well, it is a very important lap. Great lap for Carwin Robb there.
130.402 for the Haas driver, and going through that 3rd sector in the corner that's off camber, he didn't even wiggle, he didn't budge. It was like that car was just glued to the ground.
It was so well planted. Looks like he's got such a good setup on that Haas car. Son, of course, about to come through next.
Looks like Sonic's already had a lap on those soft tires and invalidated, so he's going to have to try it again. And in the 3rd sector, we'll see
actually,
what he's able to do.
This will be his first flying run, actually, Tim. Oh, no, wait, am I wrong? I think yeah, I might be wrong, yeah. We might invalidated, yeah, you're right. Ignore me.
14th place, a 132.199 for Sonicok in the Alpine. We'll go and take a look now at Martin in the Red Bull, who is fourth quickest with a 1:31.346, but he is going into the pit, so it's not going to be a good lap for him this time. We'll look at King Verstappen again, see if he can maybe get a lap in, but he's invalidated once again, so that's not going to happen.
Timo's on a run if you want to know, Tim. Timo's on a run. He's just about to come towards the end of the second set and now in the Merc.
Timo, last week's winner, trying to get a little bit of slipstream off of some of his competitors here on this straightaway, but can't really do
that
a
was
lot.
Kyle Robbie just got past. It's purple in the second sector as well. He's flying, Tim. He's going for Kyle Robb's time here.
Let's see if Timo is able to do it. Just a few more corners to go. Oh, wow.
Oh.
A big slide, but might not have hurt him too bad. Trying to just keep it away from every other car. He's got to keep it on track, though. Timo in the Mercedes, he won last week. He has won a lot of times since he has joined GP2, and now he goes fourth quickest, a 1:31.131. The times of 3s and 1s, Oliver.
And it just.
1:31.131. If those were zeros, I think we're talking in binary.
It's about a nice little pattern.
So X-Gamer in the Ferrari, he's on a lap now. Flying lap, his best time, a 1:31.090.
The Williams are slipstreaming, Tim. The Williams are slipstreaming. Both Calvin and Macaulay are slipstreaming.
So we're on board with Calvin, and then Macaulay dives down and lets Calvin through. So, as you said, Macaulay giving him a little bit of a slipstream, a little bit of a tow down that front straightaway to try.
That's really nice to see. I always like to see that when teammates actually really teamwork it together. Good teamwork from the Williams boys.
So the only bad thing about that is now Macaulay's lap has been compromised. But that's just sometimes how it's got to go. Because now, if Calvin can get a fast lap, then maybe next time he can go out and give Macaulay the slipstream. So it's a little bit of give and take. But quite frankly, when you get slipstream like that, rarely are both drivers going to be able to continue on a lap and be fast. Normally it's going to be one of them sacrificing for the other. But I'm sure we're all used to that, at least if we are Mercedes fans.
I am a Merc fan, so don't blame me.
Well, that's why I said it, Oliver, because you have seen it many times before.
I was happy in the Brazilian Grand Prix, so don't mind me. I was really happy in the Brazil Grand Prix.
Oh, now that I'm sure you were happy. Did you get to watch it, though?
I did watch it, actually.
And
it was a very darn good race.
I have to say it was, as Calvin goes a 1:31.
Max Cyrus goes fourth. Max Cyrus is fourth, just ahead of Timo.
So championship battle still staying alive with the Red Bull at Max Cyrus. We are getting down to the end of our qualifying. In fact, just over 4 minutes remaining as Gadabo has invalidated, so we will not be looking at him at the moment. Morris, though, he is on a lap. Let's see what the Mercedes driver is going to be able to do. His teammate is in fifth. Let's see if Morris can get out of below the top 10, at least get into the top 10.
Well, it's not really bad news for Morris. If he was like in P11 or P13, he can go opposite. He can do the opposite compound strategy to his teammate. It's give or take with the Mercs, but Morris would love to be with his teammate to give him a helping hand. So 2/10 up at the moment. So Morris is not really making good gains at the moment. He needs to find some time in that second sector. Oh, very shaky through there.
Yeah, that was a very dicey bit of a corner for Morris, but he hangs on to it very, very nicely. His best time, a 1:31.975. So he's got some DRS, and he's got a nice long straightaway to calm down for just a brief moment before he's got to get very, very hard onto the brakes right here, down into third gear. Some drivers like to go into second gear and short shift into third. He decided to keep it into third. Let's see how he takes this next corner, the off-camber corner. Keeps it in third the whole way, and no wiggle there. He might be losing a little bit of time through there, though. And Morris, he's not happy with this lap. He's pulling into the pits. Oh, but he overshoots the pits.
In Formula 1, they won't allow it, but we'll allow it.
So the AlphaTauri driver of KXI, he has invalidated. So we'll take a look at chain game. While the other AlphaTauri driver, who's on a flying lap.
And it's the car that you drive, Tim.
Oh yes, as we ride on board with Chain Game Wow, it looks very familiar to me, except a different number. So I'm very used to seeing these AlphaTauri cars as Chain Game Wow rounds the final corner, and he will run. Oh, a little bit loose, but he goes 6th, a 131.315.
I think the cars are just getting ready now to come out for their final runs now, so we've just got to wait for the guys to come out. But the big question is, who's going to defeat Carmen Robb? That's the main thing, and he's actually come out for another flying lap because he knows that Jaime is going to be all over him. X-Game is going to be on him. You know Timo is going to be out and ready to set some laps. Martin's on a lap now, Tim, in 7th place.
And Martin could not have timed it any better as the cars were coming out of the pits. They were able to stay over to the right and out of his way. He was able to continue the lap unhindered. And there's a car ahead of him. Oh, but something's wrong with Martin now. He has decided to go off power. So Martin not really feeling this lap at all. I'm not sure what's going on there. But this is not going to be the lap that he needs. So Martin's going to let the rest of the field by. There goes, I believe.
No, we won't allow cutting corners, but if it's going to be allowing cars to go through, we can let that as an exception.
I'm not sure exactly what Martin is trying to do. Maybe he's looking for his teammates.
Maybe if he's looking for his teammates, he's still going towards beginning of sector 2.
Well, let's ride on board with his teammate of Max Iris and see what happens when he catches him. Max Iris, of course, you see that he has invalidated this lap, but it is an out lap, so he doesn't have to worry, and I think that is exactly what Martin is trying to do, is that he is going out there to try to help his teammate, and his teammate is booking it, trying to get it around the track to get back to the front straightaway to start his lap. He's got less than 30 seconds.
Trench was on a lap, but now he's invalidated, so we're going to look at... Oh, Carmen Robb's on the lap now. Sweet. Carmen Robb's on the lap.
So we will return to the Red Bull here in just a moment. We'll watch Carmen Robb on his flying lap, his last chance to keep the pole, as Jaime is not going to be able to beat him, but we still have 18 other drivers who might be able to beat Carmen Robb's time. Qualifying is officially over, so these are going to be the only laps that these drivers get.
Did Carmen Robb's quick.
Make it? Max Iris did not make it.
Carmen Robb's quick. He's very, very quick. He just went purple in that first sector, 33 fastest faster his quickest done his time. So right now, Carmen Robb is absolutely flying.
130.402 is the time that he has to beat. If he is going to beat himself, he may not have to beat himself, but he's going to try to do it anyway because he wants to ensure that he gets the pole. Maybe a tiny bit of a slide through that corner, but hangs on to it. Just a few more corners to go for the Haas driver of Carmen Robb. And again,
this Haas looks so well planted, Tim. He's got such a good setup under this thing.
I really do want to know what setup Carmen Robb is running in that car. I mean, you and I, we both race in this league, Oliver. As Carmen Robb, he does best this time, a 130.115.
And the Timo's invalidated. Timo's invalidated his laps, so he will not be able to improve. Asia did, though, but bruises them into 6th. Time slot to come in now. What we got? We got Crowhawk coming 6th now. Chain Game into 8th. Martin 9th. Calvin, he goes up to 6th now. Where is Morris? Down in 15th. Morris in 15th. That's not what Mercury wanted, but that's it. The grid's done. Wow. Carmen Robb's car looks mad.
That it does. Here is your official starting lineup for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Russian Grand Prix. Carmen Robb on the pole. Jaime in 2nd. 3rd is X-Gamer. 4th is Max Iris. 5th is Timo. 6th is Calvin Racing. Crowhawk in 7th. 8th is Asian 2002. Chain Game Wow in 9th. Martin in 10th. Cassidy in 11th. 12th is Macaulay. 13th is Luke Bailey. 14th is Trench. 15th is Morris. Sonicok in 16th. 17th is KXI. Gadabo in 18th. 19th is King Verstappen. And Rogue Smithy in 20th.
So, Rob's car looks super well glued to the track. It's like it's on run. Like do you know the old scale X trick, Tim?
No, I don't.
It's like that. It's one of the little slot car racing things.
Oh, yeah.
And it's yeah. It looks like one of those. Oh, looks a bit dark, don't it, Tim?
A little bit hazy. We have not gotten an update from our weather crew, so not sure how the weather is going to be turning out. I know on Monday in GP5, it was a bit of a rainy one at the end of the race. It started dry, transitioned into rain, so we ended on the intermediate tire. Not sure what it's going to look like today, though.
We had an all dry race in GP3, so I can't complain.
Part of me wishes that we had a dry race in Russia on Monday for GP5.
Right. We had to pick our griddle. Look, who's going to be on the podium? Karov for victory, Timo second, Max Iris third. Championship contenders podium.
In any order, I'm going to have to go with Carwin Robb, Asian 2002, and Max Iris.
So no Timo.
I'm going to have to go with Timo instead of Max Iris, just because it's... Betting against Timo at this point is kind of like betting against Kyle Larson in NASCAR. And you just don't do that.
So the cars are on the formation lap now. Who's on the medium compound then, Tim?
We got Macaulay, Morris, Sonicock, Godabo, King, Verstappen, Rogue Smithy, all those drivers starting on the medium compound tire. Going to try to extend that first stint significantly. Then, of course, the top 10 drivers, the top 11 drivers actually on the soft compound tire. As the top 10, they have to start on the tire that they qualified in, while 11th place of Cassidy, he just decided to go onto the soft tires. That was completely his free choice. But he has possibly slightly fresher tires than the guys ahead of him.
Yeah, because Cassidy, Bailey, Trench, and KXI, they'll have the super fresh tyres. Of course, the top 10 will have some of the tyres that they qualied on. So that'll be very interesting to see. But Morris in 15th for media compound, it would make sense for Mercedes to split the strategy. So as the Williams guys are calling Calvin, they splitted the strategy as well. So as the Alpine guys, looks like most of the drivers here are really gone splits in strategy. So really, this is going to be a really strategical race and a very exciting one too.
27 laps around here. Carwin Robb will lead him off into turn number 1. Jime, X-Gamer, Max Iris, Timo, your top 5.
This is going to be a very interesting race. Time penalties, strategy. Hopefully it's a good, clean racing. Let's do it.
Are you time penalties in Russia? Oliver, are you a madman?
Yeah.
There's not going to be any time penalties in Russia.
Oh, of course not.
Just like Canada, these are the 2 cleanest tracks ever.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I like them. Of course, I pick up plenty of time penalties myself, fear not. But we are about to go green. The drivers finding their appropriate positions on the grid, and the anxiety is just now setting in. But we are set and ready to go. You hear those engines revving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. The drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Russian Grand Prix. Carwin Robb leads him down into turn number 1, but then Jime on the inside. It's the Aston Martin versus Haas at the side-by-side battle for the lead. Carwin Robb loses the lead to the Aston Martin and Jime, but it is a big cluster behind them. The Red Bull and Max Iris trying to find his way through. And who is that going very wide and off the track? Oh, and we already got a car that's out. There's a McLaren spinning. Is it Asian 2002? I think that it is. And it is a 3-car battle between Carwin Robb, Jime, and Max Iris for the lead. Timo in 4th place and the Mercedes X-Gamer in 5th. That's your top 5, but we got about 10 cars battling it out for the lead now. Carwin Robb looking underneath him. Jime, no contact still. Max Iris right on the back of Carwin Robb in 3rd. Timo staying with them in 4th place. We're right on board with the Mercedes driver. There you see nose to tail our leaders 1 and 2. X-Gamer, he is he is pretty much at the front of a big shuffle behind him.
Oh,
Look behind
Calvin!
him. There goes some cars. A little bit wide. That was Calvin dropping down. Crowhawk moves up into 6th place. A good qualifying for him. Puts him into the top 10, and now he is 6th place on track, but he's got a time penalty. Not what he was looking for here. And now X-Gamer, he's gaining a little bit on Timo. Is he going to go for the lunge? Is he going to go for the move? No, he is not. He's going to stay behind Timo. So now it's calmed down a little bit, nose to tail with the leaders.
Good, what a start that was. I mean, good start for Giant. He got a better second phase of the start on Carmen Rob, and Carmen Rob fell a little bit asleep there on the start, and we got a car almost going all over. Morris is all over the place, so he loses the place to keep Verstappen. But yeah, literally, good start for Giant. The team are getting a place as well. Good clean start for the top guys up in front, but that was a hell of a fight going on in the midfield at the moment. And it looks like Carmen Rob looks like he's just biding his time with Giant at the moment, but he has got his 2 championship contenders right behind him.
Watching Calvin, he thought about making a move around. Crowhawk thought better of it, and as well as Trench did, thinking about going around Macaulay, but thought better of it as well.
Speaking of Macaulay, he got the best out of them all. He's in 8th place now on the median compound, so watch out for Macaulay later in the race.
Yeah, and Macaulay, he really needs a good race. He had a fantastic qualifying last week in Imola. Then he had a very unfortunate turn of events in the race to where he found himself very early on dead last, about 50 seconds behind the leader, only to be benefited with a few safety cars and a little bit of determination to rebound to, I believe, a 4th place finish, and I believe ultimately getting driver of the day as well. So what could have been maybe a podium for Macaulay turned into a day of recovery that turned into a miraculous rebound. So
Godalbo's going slow. Godalbo's going slow. He's going very slow. He's broken the wing. I think he's broken the wing as Godalbo. Not what really wanted it. And his disaster season for McLaren continues.
And that is a shame. There you see on Godalbo's car, there is no visible wing damage,
but we do know the game does do very minor wing damage, which proves very bad dividends.
Unfortunately so. So Godalbo, he's going to have to make a pit stop, going to be playing catch up the rest of the race. And no, he just retires from the session.
Carwin, down the inside of Chime. Oh, it's so close, but Chime defends well. Can Carmen Rock get through? No. DRS has now activated, Tim, so prepare for overtakes.
So John and Carmen Robb still keeping it clean at the front of the field. Just some minor contact there as they were trying to battle with each other. Max Iris, he is keeping his cool behind these drivers, just letting them battle it out. And I'd say that he's probably hoping that Carmen Robb will have an issue and DNF out of this race. Of course, you can't really bet on that. So Max Iris is going to have to just keep them within his sights and keep the pace to stay close to his competitors.
Carmen Robb is going to get past him.
Got the slipstream on him. He's got some DRS, but can't quite make the move stick, so he stays behind the Aston Martin for now. But he gained a significant margin to Jime, and that might be what he needs to attack him going into turn number 1.
Look at this train of field of cars, Tim. Oh, it's going all the way down to what looks like to be Sonic Hawk. No, it's like King Verstappen. All the way down to Martins. There's a big train of cars from first all the way down to 16th. This is really good driving for the GP2 guys here.
It is our own personal chugga choo-choo train around Russia, around Sochi, as we have got a battle for the lead. Carmen Robb diving underneath the Aston Martin. This time he might just be able to clear him. Yes, he does. Move Carmen Robb up into the first position.
Now this is what Max... Oh, Chain Gate Wows retired in the pits. That's unfortunate for Chain Game.
Chain Game has definitely had a up and down, a roller coaster kind of a season in these last 5 races or so. So he's going to be looking for a little bit of recovery in the final 10, as we've got Jime and Carmen Robb still battling it out. Then behind them is Timo and Max Iris battling it out with just a tiny little gap between the 2 cars. So it's pretty much 2 battles going on at the same time. Then X Gamer, he's just kind of got his hat thrown into the ring, but he is locked into a battle with Crowhawk just behind 3rd and 4th place, as well as Martin picked up a time penalty for multiple warnings. He's running all the way back in the 16th position after, I believe, qualifying in the top 10.
Yeah, Martin got a little bit crossed up at the start, but he's got to try to gain all that back here in the race. Trench has moved up to 8th place now, just overtaking Macaulay. So Trench is moving up the field. Morris still down there in 15th. It's not really making great progress. He actually just got overtaken by Martin. Looks like Morris has made a mistake actually. He's now down to 16th place now. He's just got behind Rogue Smithy.
Morris going very slow through the third sector, no visible wing damage, but is he going to pull into the pits or stay out? He is going to stay out, so I'm not sure what's going on with Morris. But starting on those medium tires and just not moving forward like he was wanting to.
Maximus was having a look there on Jime, but he gave him a bit of to stick his car out, but just let him know that he's there. So at the moment, Max Harris and Timo do need to get past Aston Martin sooner rather than later, because they do not want to let Kyle Robb get away, not by any means necessary.
He's already half a second in the lead, and I think that's a little bit too quick, a little bit too far for comfort. So I agree with you, Oliver, is that Jime really needs to start picking up the pace and trying to get close to Carmen Robb, because you've got to stay within the DRS zone. You see Max Iris, he is starting to drop down a little bit. He's going to be under pressure from Timo, so that's going to give Jime a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of room to work with, to attack Carmen Robb and try to stay close.
Timo's close. Timo is close. Can he get past Max Iris here? No. The DRS is just proving dividends for Max Iris in the moment.
That is that DRS train, and that's really the only thing that is going to be the saving grace for these drivers.
Trench and Calvin side by side. And Calvin just gets the move back on Trench, so Trench runs back down to 8th place.
Oh, and we got a Williams sliding. That was Macaulay. He slid. I think he kept it out of the wall, but a very, very close call for Macaulay.
Good save from Macaulay. Very good save.
So Trench is going to be able to attack Calvin down the straightaway. He's going to activate the DRS. However, there's going to be a lot of drivers behind him that's going to have DRS as well. But let's see if Trench is going to be able to get around Calvin. Yes, he does with relative ease. Move Trench up into the 7th position. He clears him. But is Trench going to lose is Calvin going to lose 2 spots? No, because KXI is going to stay behind him, at least for now. But the AlphaTauri driver looking underneath the Williams. Is he going to be able to clear him? Is he going to be able to even get underneath him? No, he's not. Calvin doing a fantastic job defending against the AlphaTauri. Oh, maybe some close contact there. Maybe those soft tires on Calvin's car are starting to show a little bit more life than KXI's.
And look at the drivers in front are not having any tire wear at all. They're still keeping the same pace at the moment. Timo still giving Max Harris a bit of a headache at the moment. Can he get past the Red Bull? No. Looks like Max Harris has just still got a bit of a gap on the Merc. It's close. Very close between the top guys at the moment. We've still got X Gamer and Crowhawk in the mix as well. Oh, and Timo looks very, very close to Max Harris, isn't he? Is Timo starting to get a little bit frustrated behind the Red Bull here?
He'll definitely get some DRS, and he's going to be trying to use that slipstream, but I think that he's just stuck in the DRS train to where we're really not going to see any overtakes. The only possible overtake that I see at the moment is Jime overtaking Carmen Robb, but he's even a little bit too far back to be able to do that. Let's just ride on board with Jime. Oh, no, wait a minute. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, is it? No, okay, never mind.
That's Cassidy's retirement in the pits.
For just a moment, I thought that we were under a virtual safety car, but we are not. We are continuing to be under green flag conditions. Do not mind that little tease that we just had there, as now Calvin and KXI are battling. Oh no!
KXI and Calvin made contact! And Macaulay swings past the AlphaTauri. And looks like Jime looks a lot more close to Kyle Robson than he has ever been now.
And Crowhawk, another time penalty for multiple warnings. We'll take a look at Jime now. And this is going to be another DRS zone. This might be Jime's chance. 0.6 of a second, though. I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to get close. Carmen Robb has got a very good drive out of that corner. He's keeping himself at arm's length away from Jime. And Carmen Robb, he's a very smart driver. That is definitely an intentional gain that he is gaining there. And I know that sounds a bit crazy because we're all obviously looking for the best exit out of every corner. But Carmen Robb, I would not be surprised if he sit and thought about maximizing his exit out of that corner because he knows how crucial it is because of it being a DRS zone.
Look at this, Giant's now going to go for, he's now attacking. He's now going for the attack. He's been saying, oh, I know what Giant's been doing. He's a very smart driver. He's going down the inside of Cairo. He takes the lead away from Cairo. Side by side they go, and Giant gets the lead back. I'm telling you now, Giant was smart because he was saving the overtake. But the overtake button hit us just for the right moment. Giant was so smart.
So Giant moves into first. Carmen Robb down to second. Max Iris in third. Timo fourth. X Gamer in fifth. That's your top five with Crowhawk, Trench, McCarley, Calvin Racing, and KXI your top 10.
And now this is going to be fun. To the three championship contenders, 2, 3, and 4. This should be fun.
And that really just makes things that much more interesting, but it also goes to show why these three drivers are first, second, and third in the championship standings, because with them running second, third, and fourth, they are always up front. And it's even more impressive when you take into consideration that Timo, of all drivers, only started about halfway into the season. He is not DNF'd out of a race.
Still mind-boggling.
Yeah, he's not DNF'd out of a race yet. He has finished on the podium 5 out of the last 6 races, something along those lines. It is very impressive what the Mercedes driver of Timo has been able to put together.
John gets the fastest lap. I do apologize for the swearing in the background. Oh, look at this. Max was out of the DRS range of Carmen Robb. Look, it's now over a second behind. Timo has got a chance now to take down Max Iris. He needs to get past him as soon as he can, because he has got the pace of the Mercedes, but he needs to get past that Red Bull for it to do so.
And we got 8 laps on these soft tires now, Oliver, so how long until these drivers decide that enough is enough? When are they going to pit? Who is going to do the undercut? If I was Max Iris, I would be thinking about an undercut right now.
Yeah, I think so. It looks like he's burned the tyres out of the top 5 anyway. It looks like he's burnt out the tyres most. Yeah, you can see it, can't you? He runs a little bit wide there, going out of that corner. Timo needs to get past this Red Bull as soon as he can, because looks like he's burned the tyres a lot more than the guys around him. So Timo needs to get past.
So Max Iris trying to defend against Timo, but can't do anything with it. What has happened to Max Iris? He has lost a significant amount of pace. So that is very concerning for the Red Bull. He looked like maybe a long run would benefit him, but no, it is not at all. In fact, the longer that this goes, the worse that car gets. So is he going to pit? Is he going to do the undercut? That's what he needs to do, but it's not what he's going to do. Not this time. Max Iris is going to stay out on the track for at least one more lap. Carmen Robb, meanwhile, he's going to try to attack John going into turn number 1. Let's see if he's going to be able to do it. He's got the slipstream. He's got the DRS. He has got the pace, the speed, the car, but is he going to be able to get around the Aston Martin before they get to the corner? It's going to be close. He could not do it. He tried. He thought about it, but he had to back out and give room to John. So Carmen Robb has to stay in second for now.
The sky is starting to get a little bit brighter now, so it looks like the threat of rain has definitely gone away. So it looks like we're going to have a nice, good, dry race today.
So do you think it's possible that Max Iris' setup just benefited more from a colder track?
They've got a good fight in the midfield for 10th, 11th, and 12th with Verstappen, Bailey, and Sonic Hawk. They're in a really good little fight at the moment.
And there goes Verstappen trying to go around Luke Bailey, but can't do anything with it. So it is still going to be the 3 cars nose to tail trying to race around this circuit, and a little bit wide goes Verstappen in the Ferrari.
Verstappen in Ferrari? My word.
That's one of those cursed realities, Oliver, but here goes King Verstappen around Luke Bailey once again, and this time he will be able to keep that position. Move King Verstappen up into the 10th position. Luke Bailey down to 11th. Sonic Hawk just behind him, trying to find a way into the top 10, but trying to be patient and bide his time.
Rob's in. Rob's in.
So the leader going for the undercut. Oh, and who was that? That was Crowhawk. Crowhawk has spun, and he is stopped in the third sector. So who is that just pitted? It's Luke Bailey, I believe, that has decided to make a pit stop. So Luke Bailey is in. Carwin Robb is in. Jime is your leader. Timo in second. Max Iris in third.
Safety car's out. Safety car is out.
Safety car.
Oh, Crowhawk could have. I'll tell you now. For Robb, he could not have timed that any more better. What a timing for Carwin Robb.
But how far away from the leader is he? Carwin Robb, he is 26 seconds out of the lead.
Yeah,
so John,
true.
Timo, Max Iris, X-Gamer, Trench, all these guys, they're going to be pitting for new tires. And I don't think that Carwin Robb's going to be able to re-inherit that lead quite as easily.
Looks like Carwin Robb's got some work to do, I would say.
Now, the safety car did come out at a perfect time for Jime and Timo and Max Iris. Especially
for Timo,
Max Iris.
Timo Max Iris, he was suffering tire wear, and now he gets to have a free pit stop, so could have timed that any more better for the Red Bull driver.
So the undercut obviously was not going to be a viable option due to the safety car. If not for the safety car, it certainly would have been.
No, you can see so. But Timo, Jime, the leaders, he'll be pitting in now. So, as you can see, they're diving in. Ooh, Timo's got a little bit slow there in the entry. A little bit slow. But they're all in.
So our top 4 drivers, top 5 drivers will pit. Does Macaulay pit? That would be the smart option, I do believe, and he does pit. The question is, what tire is he going to go on? He cannot go on the soft tire. So he
most likely it's going to be a hard.
That would have to be his only option unless he wants to do a 2-stop and go medium, medium, soft. But that just, at this point, would not make any sense. So Macaulay, he is going on the soft tire, surprisingly. So for whatever reason, the Williams driver going on the soft, that's not going to bode well for him at all. So he's going to have to make this a very short stint to try to make up as much ground as possible. Pretty much go out there, run qualifying laps, and then pull in for another set of softs.
Carl Roberts got ahead of his teammate of Trench, so both of the Haas guys. Trench has made really big gains, would you say? He's in 7th place now, right behind his teammate. So, again, the Haas boys are doing a very good race today. That's why Haas lead the constructors.
Exactly. In fact, we have not updated you on the constructor standings, but after last week, Haas still in first with 320 points. But listen to this. 2nd place is Mercedes with 196 points. Yes, that is right. 320 points to 196 points. And then Red Bull has 186 points.
Well, it's close between Merck and Mercedes, but there's a big, big gap between. Well, from Mercedes to Haas, it says a lot.
I just want to know what kind of, like who killed a butterfly and put Haas on the top spot of any podium?
The answer's called Carwin Robb.
So Carwin Robb's the time traveler. Okay, he is the one he's the one responsible for the cursed reality that we live in that sees Haas leading a constructors championship.
Also, Trench as well. Trench and Carwin's been the best team by any means necessary in this division. Just because of their teamwork and the way they are. Wow.
Now that is ironic. However, I also do believe that is going to be one of those penalties that may get removed by the stewards, because we saw that on stream, and by we saw that on stream, I didn't see anything.
No, they actually made contact because Trench has gone into the back of a car. He got into the back of Carval's car and he's got wing damage, so it's actually a thing. So that's not a thing for the stewards to do, that's not actually a thing, because he's bent his front wing into him, lost the right end plate. He's coming in now for a wing change. And
for some reason they do have to wait out that 5-second time penalty, so Trench going on a fresh set of medium tires and getting a brand new front wing, and that was unwarranted for a 5-second time penalty for both drivers, and that's what I'm talking about. That might be under review.
Oh, it's another one.
Yeah, and again, see with Rogue Smithy in Asia 2002, that can happen on the lightest of bumps. Even if you don't have damage, even if the other car doesn't have damage, it can still give both of you a time penalty, and the reason it happens is just because there is a slight inconsistency of speed under the safety car. Just because, everyone cannot maintain a consistent, scripted pace that the safety car can. So some drivers are going to go slower, some are going to go a little bit faster. So it's just a small accident that's going to happen.
Oh, Morris, ignoring the yellows. Because he didn't exceed the delta time, or something.
So where is Morris? He is in 5th place at the moment, so he's got a time penalty to deal with now. And these time penalties, they are going to be very difficult to determine who is going to be where at the end of this race, and I do not feel sorry for the stewards.
And we'll have to keep it on our social media pages, Tim, in SO5 to see what the main result is going to be. Safety car's coming at the end of the lap now.
So Jime, Timo, Max Iris, your top 3 with X Gamer, Morris, your top 5, Carvin, Rob, Macaulay, KXI, Calvin, and Sonicock, your top 10. Lap 13 of 27. We are pretty much halfway through this race, so we've just got another half to go. Who is going to be standing on the top spot of the podium when it's all said and done?
It's funny that you say this, Tim. There's an Aston Martin safety car coming in, and then an Aston Martin's going to be leading us away. That's quite ironic.
So the Aston Martin concedes the lead of the race to the Aston Martin, and the Aston Martin will be the control car, and the Aston Martin gets to choose when to go, and the Aston Martin has decided to go now. Is that about right?
And yeah, pretty much. You couldn't have written that any better.
So John leads us into turn number 1 and turn number 2 now, and wow, who is that? Timo dancing all over the track. A lot of drivers dancing all over the track, trying to break the slipstream from their competitors behind them, but it's pretty much just a line of cars going into these first few corners as Macaulay picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. There is X Gamer in 4th.
Now, I didn't realize it's a first hit, but if you think about it, Macaulay could be a bit of a headache for Karen Rock because he's on the uber fresh soft tyre. And Morris is going to play as a roadblock to Karen Rob, so Karen Rob's got traffic to deal with.
Oh, and riding on board with Macaulay, it is about to get dicey. He's got Morris and Carwin Rob ahead of him. Oh, and it's side by side, the Haas and the Mercedes, and the Williams just behind him. Oh, and Morris spins and Macaulay gets collected. Morris and Macaulay, both
Macaulay.
of them stopped.
Oh, Macaulay. You cannot feel you had to feel sorry for him. Oh, man.
There's no front wing on that Williams, undoubtedly. Gonna have to be pulling into the pits as well. Morris not looking too much better. Surprisingly, no wing damage that I can see, but you know there's damage on that Mercedes, and that is not what any of them needed. Not in their championship fight, not in their race fight. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances. Did you see what happened, though, Oliver? Because we were riding on board with
Looks like Carmen Rob. Yeah, we were riding on board with him, and looks like Carmen Rob was turning a bit too sharp. What'd you say? I don't know, but he collected the front right tyre of Morris, and then, unfortunately for him, but for Macaulay, for his standpoint, he had nowhere to go. He was literally a roadblock of Mercedes in front of the Williams, so there's nothing that Macaulay could do. But we just have to wait and see what happens in the stewards. Our social media pages will give us the profound result of their hearing.
Yeah, because truthfully, Oliver, I can't say what happened. I was riding on board with Macaulay, and it did not look like Macaulay made any contact with Morris. But on the same token, it didn't look like Carwin Rob really came over on Morris as well, and it just all happened so fast. I really don't know what happened.
It's either Morris got a big chunk of wheel spin in the rear due to the fact of his wear of tyres, or Carl collected him on the right front. It's one of the two. But look at this, Timo. Look at this. Timo on the back of Jaime. He's going for, get this, another victory. Another win for Timo is on the cards.
So just to put this into perspective, Timo did not join GP2 until Hungary.
We're still repeating this and it's still fascinating.
Exactly. He joined in Hungary, and he won Hungary. Then he won Belgium. Then he won in the Netherlands. And he became the second driver to win 3 races in a row. And what was funny is that just before he started... Oh, X-Gamer, we will go to our statistics in a minute because X-Gamer trying to make a move on Max Iris, but not able to do anything with it that time. Maybe he's going to be able to get around the Red Bull. He was looking on the outside for just a brief of moments, but not able to do it. He can get so very close, but can't actually get around the Red Bull.
He's going to try and have a run down the back stretch. Let's see what he can do there.
Now, there's going to be a DRS Zone coming up very shortly. I think that's going to be X-Gamer's opportunity, but he's going to have to stay close to that Red Bull to get around Max Cyrus. X-Gamer, he could be on for a podium today. It would be a fantastic result for him and the Ferrari camp if he was able to do so. And he got a decent exit. Max Cyrus got a little bit better, and he's got DRS, so that is not what X-Gamer needed, but X-Gamer with a little bit of a better exit against Max Cyrus at least has a chance. He's going to go for the lunge. Maybe, but thinks better of it. Has to stay off the back of Max Iris. So it is still nose-to-tail battle, and it's a top 4 battle pretty much for the lead. Jaime leads over Timo, then Max Iris.
Actually, no, Tim. Karamov's in that fight as well. He's in 5th place. He's now caught up to the back of this train.
Oh, and then X-Gamer looking underneath of Max Iris, but once again, Max Iris is able to defend it. Some contact between X-Gamer and Carbon Rock. Oh, and X-Gamer goes into the wall. X-Gamer is out of the race. He was on for such a great show, and now he is stopped on the front straightaway. We are under another safety car.
Oh, that's such a save for X-Gamer. The Belgian was doing so well, and then Kyril got to the back of him and literally went kaput into the wall. So that's a big shame for X-Gamer.
Jaime, Timo, Max Iris, Carmen Rob, and KXI, your top 5 now. And I really don't know what happened with X-Gamer. All I know is that he tried to go underneath of Max Iris, and Carmen Rob tried to follow Max Iris around the outside because there was a hole up there that X-Gamer left open. And X-Gamer tried to close it. They made a little bit of contact, but it looked like they got through the corner fine. And then maybe X-Gamer got onto the throttle a little bit too soon, had some wheel spin, and just went straight into the wall. Not sure how he ended his race, but his race has unfortunately ended.
So, yeah, I would say that for the fact that I don't know if you want to say now. For the quite a hard one. It is quite a hard one to do to get that one managed. I think in my mind, X-Gamer got a little bit caught up by Carl Rob hitting a little bit of a tap in the rear, and then of course he lit up the rear tyres and drove into the wall. Jaime's coming in. Is Jaime coming in? He is, and so is Timo. He's following him in. They're all going for the soft compound. Within the 10 laps, they could do soft tyres. All of them can.
And Carwin Robb is coming in as well. So that means that regardless, that time penalty is going to be served. So whether the stewards would have removed it or not, who's to say? We're never going to find out now because Carwin Robb, it will be removed. He has to serve it in the pits this time. So there you see the crew waiting to go to work.
He will drop down the order with Carwin Robb, though. He will drop down the order.
But he's putting a fresh set of what looks to be softs. Yes, it is soft tires on that Haas car. And it looks like he had some wing damage from X-Gamer as well. So maybe that is what happened, is that there was some significant contact that gave Carbon Rob some wing damage. And maybe there was contact going into the final corner that we did not see. On that tiny little straightaway, I did see some contact. But by the time they got around the final corner, I thought that X-Gamer was home free, only to see him turn straight into the wall. So maybe there was some contact after what we initially saw, or maybe X-Gamer did just get a little bit of wheel spin.
So, where's Carl now? 11th. So, Sonical, Bailey, Asia, and Trench, they just opted not to pit. So I don't know if that's going to be a mistake on their part. We don't know. So, but for Karen Robson, he's got an absolute work to do to get any points in this race. He's got work to do. He's in 11th place. He will get some points, but how many? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue for Carbon Rob to get points, but as you pointed out, Oliver, it is going to be a far cry from what he could have gotten if he had won this race. And, you know, it's not over yet. Carbon Rob can still win the race. That's not what we're saying. But when you are starting in 11th place with less than 10 laps to go, your chances of winning become, you know, marginalized at that point, to where it's just each lap that passes, you have less and less chance of actually getting up there. So realistically, I'd say top 5, very possible for Carbon Rob. A win,
I would say so as well.
Another safety car.
I would say so as well. I think a good 5th place for Carbon Rob. He will take that going into the next race in Singapore. So that'll be the main benefit for him, is to get damage limitation of his lead. What he really is praying now is Timo not getting past Jime and then have to get past the rest of the traffic cars to win the Grand Prix. That is not what Kyle Rob would want, is Timo winning another Grand Prix. Yes, and I say another one.
And let's talk about Timo, because he has won 3 races in a row. He's only the 2nd driver to do so. So from France to Great Britain, Max Iris won 3 races in a row. And then immediately following that is when Timo joined, and he won his 3 races in a row at Hungary, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Then he got a 3rd place in Monaco, not Monaco, excuse me, in Monza. And then he got 11 points in Portugal. Then last week he won again in Imola. So if he wins today, it's going to be 2 wins in a row again for Timo.
By far the most consistent driver in GP2, even if he has done half of the season.
And that is saying something, because he's been even more consistent than Carwin Robb. Carwin Robb...
And that's a scary thought.
It really is, because he got 4 podiums in a row in the first 4 races. Carwin Robb, he finished 3rd in Spain, but he won Bahrain, Monaco, I'm getting them mixed up, and Azerbaijan. He DNF'd in Canada. He got 2nd place in France. He got 4 points in Austria. He got 2nd in Great Britain and Hungary. He got 3rd in Belgium. He got 8 points in the Netherlands. He won in Monza. He got 2nd in Portugal. And then he DNF'd out of Imola last week. And Carbon Rob trying to recover and get whatever he can out of today and just a little bit more.
So the car's coming into him. So we've got a handful of laps to go. Can Jime get a victory? Timo? Possibly Max Cyrus? We don't know. We really don't know.
Well, one thing that I want to talk about is Sonicoc's decision to stay out on these soft tires, and is that going to be a viable option for him? And quite frankly, I think the easy answer to that is no. There's no way that he's going to be able to stay in front, but it still seems to me like a bit of a calculated risk, because Sonicoc, he's going to be a sitting duck when DRS is active. But I think he's banking on the guys behind him getting stuck in a DRS train. Luke Bailey.
Oh, Sonicoc's gone. Good start for Sonicoc. He's gone.
Fantastic start from Sonicoc, already 0.7 of a second out. So here I am talking about how Sonicoc can do well and help maximize his start and maximize his chances of winning this race, and then he just already ahead of the game on us. So good job for the boss man, already getting out ahead, but will he be able to keep it? He's going to have to at least keep it until DRS is active. Then he's just going to have to hope that everyone else is stuck in that DRS train that I was mentioning, as we got Luke Bailey going a little bit wide. Asian 2002 going to be looking on the inside of the Alfa Romeo, and is he going to be able to make the move? It's going to be a very tight battle between the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo. Some contact between the two, and Asian 2002 goes very wide, keeps it out of invalidation, but Luke Bailey goes ahead of him, at least for now. Trench just behind him, though, and Trench, he is not going to be giving up. He is going to be putting a lot of pressure on that McLaren driver.
And it just, and Kyle Rob's already moved up to 10th place now. He's all over the back of Calvin now. He's trying to make his way up the field, but look at Sonicoc, 1.4 seconds ahead. He's doing an absolute great job. He's now into 9th. They're swapping places, them two. What's going on between the two? They're still side by side. Calvin still stays ahead. Can Asia get past Luke Bailey for second place? No. James going to get stuck in this field at the moment. He's got team all over the back of it at the moment.
Calvin got a good exit, and it was... Oh, and Carmen Robbie's off the track. He's off the track. He is hanging on to it, though. He stays in 10th place, but he is off the track. Something's wrong with the Haas.
What's going on with Carmen Robb? Where's Maximus? Where is Maximus? Max was in the pits! And so Max was in the pits! Carmen Robb's in the pits as well! Oh no, the champion contenders, they're all over the place again! Timo's in 6th place at the moment! He's on for another great result!
And Trench is going underneath of Luke Bailey. There was contact. And now it is 3 wide. 3 wide. John going around on the outside. It is 3 wide between the Aston Martin, the Haas, and the Alfa Romeo. John trying to make a move on the outside. Going on the inside. Contact. And John spins. John spins. He's dropping down. Trench is now in 3rd place. Luke Bailey in 4th. Asian 2002 pulling away in 2nd. Sonic Hawk out in 1st. Only by a second, though. Trench now in 3rd, and he is going to have to deal with Luke Bailey, who's putting an enormous amount of pressure on him. Timo in 5th place, trying to find a way around both of these drivers.
I'll tell you now, Tim, if Timo wins again, I'll tell you now, Timo is going to be all over the back, or even overtaking Maximus. This is going to be an amazing result for Timo if he can win this Grand Prix.
And he's going around the outside of Luke Bailey. He's going around the outside, but is he going to be able to get the move done? It's going to be so very close, but he does clear him going into that corner, so now he's got his sights set on Trench in 3rd place.
Well, Carl Robin and Maximus, they will not be scoring points. Not by any means necessary if there is another safety car.
And Oliver, I think that Timo might just be able to win this race.
Yeah, you think?
DRS
and look, he's going to get the DRS. Go on, team. Run until you can get past Trench.
Trench has got DRS as well, though, so it's going to make it very difficult for Timo, and he thought about making a run.
Asian and Sonic Hawk are fighting.
Look ahead of him, it's Asian 2002 and Sonic Hawk. We saw it at the same time, Oliver. And there was some contact between the two, and it's 3 wide again. Timo going around the inside to go into 2nd place. 2 cars for 1.
Oh my God, Timo, you are an absolute brave person to take 2 cars in turn 3. What an absolute fantastic move for Timo.
And I feel so bad for Sonic Hawk because he knows that these guys are barreling down on him, and it is only a matter of time before they go around. Don't even attempt to Sonic Hawk. I know you're the boss, man. I know you're a phenomenal driver, but you got Timo all over the back of you, who's in a championship fight. I say Sonic Hawk, he needs to just do whatever he can to keep these guys behind him. This is his best chance at a win. He might still be able to walk away with the podium regardless, but there's a tiny chance that he could win this race. And by tiny, I mean probably not with Timo breathing down his neck, but you never know what's going to happen. It's not over until the checkered flag flies, and the checkered flag has not flown yet. And the boss man is doing a fantastic job holding off the Mercedes driver.
Sonic Hawk is suffering. He's all over the place, going for the chicane. I can see the rear of the car just wobbling about pretty much a lot. It's going to be hitting the tyre limit. So I don't know if he needs to be careful if he not to get.
Oh, the McLaren of Asia 2002, he is crashed out on the front straightaway.
Oh no! Save the cars out. So, Carl Robert Maximus, they will be back in the race. Oh, Timo was going for a move as well. Sonic Hawk for the lead, but Sonic Hawk needs to pit. Like, after this lap, he needs to pit. I know he's leading. I get that. But, figure this, Tim. Do you rather pit and save yourself from getting a puncher, or stay out, or get a puncher?
I'm about to say the most unpopular thing that I have probably ever said during an SFR broadcast. Sonic Hawk, he's not in a championship fight, and unless he's got his own personal goals to try to obtain in his points battle, he has absolutely nothing to lose by staying out and risking a puncture. There's realistically no way he's going to be able to hold off Timo, but there's also realistically no way that he's going to win this race if he pits. So it's a bad decision no matter what he does. I think Sonic Hawk should just risk it.
If you no risk, no reward, isn't it?
Exactly. Now, that's assuming his tire wear is actually going to hold up. Like you pointed out. He could have a puncture and it's not going to work anyway. Only he knows what his tire wear is at this very moment. And we're about to see what he decides to do.
But now Max Verstappen and Kyle Robb will be back in this race. They can try and score some points. I think 2 or 3 points most. Yeah, Sonic Hawk is staying out. He's going to go for the risk. Like you said, no risk, no reward. But wow, Timo against him. 2 wins in a row. It's on the cards again. This guy, it started in, I keep repeating it and we always will. Started in Hungary, debuted, win. The next 2 races, win. Podiums. If this guy, by the end of the season in China, can actually win it, win the championship, then he'll go down in SFR history. No doubt about that.
It would likely be the driver who ran the least amount of races to still win a championship. And Timo, to put it into perspective, out of all the races that he has ran, he's only not finished on the podium once.
And that's mad. That's a mad statistic.
I mean, there's a few guys in this division this season in GP2. We got Carwin Robb. We got Timo. Morris to some degree. Max Iris even. Trench even. They are more or less the big hitters in this division, whether it be the team they're driving for or just their results in general. Trench, I think he's only got 1 win, but he has been there to stay fairly consistent, to score points for Haas, to help them with their massive lead that they have. And then, of course, you have got Timo that we've been talking up because he has just had such a fantastic drive this season so far. And, Carwin Robb, obviously we know while we're talking about Carwin Robb, dominating the point standings pretty much from day one. I don't think that another driver has led the standings except Carwin Robb this season. So that already goes to show. And Max Iris, he was a little bit of a late bloomer, but he really put some results in to make sure that he was in a championship fight. It is going to be a very impressive finish to this race and to this season. But the safety car is coming in, lap 24 of 27.
Sonical's playing that game again. Sonical's playing that game again. Can he get it? Can he get... He's gone. Has Timo reacted? He has. Timo was awaiting.
Yep, Timo got a much better start than Sonicok did, and I think that that's credited to those fresher, soft tires. So now Sonicok, he is sadly going to be the sitting duck, but remember, this was his best opportunity to win the race, and there goes Timo trying to get around Sonicok. A lot of dancing around, trying to break some slipstream up.
Was he warming up the tires? Was he warming up the tires mostly? You never know.
3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as he runs in the 5th position just behind KXI. Look at KXI though. He started outside of the top 10 and now he is in 4th. And there goes Timo around Sonicok.
The first soft arms, yeah, through he goes. Timo into the lead. And now, watch him pull away.
And you see Trench just out the back of Sonicok there. Trench trying to find a way into the 2nd position. Sonicok doing a good job defending against the Haas. He knows that his chance of winning the race is now over, but you can't say the same about Trench behind him. So Trench, he is a man on a mission, just not able to really do a lot with
Tim, I forgot to mention to you, I'm going to check the penalties actually. So Trench has got 3 seconds, Calvin's got 6, Verstappen's got 6, Martin's on 6, Morris is on none. Morris is on for a great result, Tim.
And what a fantastic day it would be if Morris was able to get a podium or at least close to it. Because, and we might have a car almost spinning. It was the Aston Martin of Jime. He did not spin, but he had a little bit of a moment, a little bit of a wiggle. But he is finding himself in the 9th position, moving around the Williams of Macaulay, who is now in 10th. Carwin Robb, he is in the back of this battle here, and he's trying to get around Macaulay now. They're going to have a side-by-side battle. Just behind them is Rogue Smithy, trying to follow Carwin Robb through, but he's not going to be able to pass his teammate on track. Carwin Robb even struggling to pass Macaulay in the Williams. So there goes Carwin Robb
he's going for the lunge.
Some contact almost, but Carwin Robb has to stay. Oh, something did happen to Carwin Robb, and Rogue Smithy went ahead of him briefly. Now Carwin Robb goes back ahead of Rogue Smithy. So it is an Aston Martin versus Haas battle, and Rogue Smithy, maybe a little bit of contact there. He looked underneath Carwin Robb, but not able to do anything with it. Now he's looking underneath him. It's side by side and wheel to wheel. It's Aston Martin versus Haas once more.
Who will see me Rogue Smithy up against Carwin Robb?
Smithy went very wide that time, though. Very wide.
Verstappen got a massive wiggle out of the corner, and Martin goes into sixth place. Martin on a combat drive. This is brilliant. And Morris, he's going to have a look at Verstappen now for seventh place now. Verstappen and Morris, Ferrari versus Merc, and the Merc will probably get past him. No. Same between the two. Can he get past him? Yes, he can. No, he cannot. I don't know what's going on anymore. Morris and Verstappen still side by side, and they still are, and Verstappen keeps ahead of him.
And meanwhile, it is the final lap of the race. DRS has been enabled.
I'm on the last lap, my word. And look at Martin. He's having a look at Calvin now, Tim.
So Martin trying to go around Calvin, and he gets the move done, moves into the fifth position, but now it is going to be Calvin trying to fight back hard. Meanwhile, up front, it is the Haas of Trench trying to go around Sonacock, and he gets the move done with relative ease, but he's got 3 seconds worth of time penalties, and King Verstappen is now out of the race.
Where did the KXI come from? Where did the KXI come from? Where did he come from?
He's been there, Oliver. He started outside of the top 10. He somehow found his way up into 4th place, and now he might be on for a podium if he can stay close to Trench. Trench just ahead of him in 2nd place. He's got 3 seconds worth of time penalty, so KXI, he might be on for a podium today. Sonacock, if he can keep it clean, he is definitely going to be getting a podium. He will get the 2nd position. So a job well done to Sonacock. If he can make the final few corners, just the final sector of this racetrack, it won't be a win. It won't be what he wanted, but it'll be another podium on the season.
Guess who is going to win the Grand Prix, Tim? And it's no surprise who it is, isn't it?
It's going to be the Mercedes driver of Timo. He has got just 4 more corners to go, and looks like something has happened to Calvin. He has dropped back significantly. It's a big battle in the back of the pack.
Carl's down to 12th. Carl's down to last. Carl's had contact with someone. He's not scoring any points today. Timo's about to round the last corner.
And out of the final corner, he wins 2 races in a row once again. Timo will win the Russian Grand Prix.
This driver.
Trench finishes in 2nd, but drops all the way down to 5th.
Sonacock gets 2nd. How?
Sonacock in 2nd, KXI in 3rd. Calvin Racing retires. He retires out of the final corner.
Oh, wow. Timo wins again. Again. And this driver.
So Timo wins again, 2 races in a row again, and Carwin Robb did not score points again, correct? Where is Max Iris?
10 for 11.
Timo is now 2nd place in the driver's standings.
Like, wow.
Just to confirm, Timo is now 2nd place in the driver's standings because they were only separated, him and Max Iris, by 6 points going into today. Carwin Robb has 215 points, which means that Carwin Robb is approximately 3 races ahead of Timo. And here are your official results for this Speed Force Racing GP2 Series Russian Grand Prix, and what a wild Grand Prix it was. Timo in 1st, Sonacock in 2nd, KXI in 3rd, 4th is Jime, 5th is Trench, Max Iris in 6th, Rogue Smithy in 7th, 8th is Martin, 9th is Macaulay, Morris in 10th, Luke Bailey in 11th, 12th is Calvin Racing, 13th is Carwin Robb, 14th is King Verstappen, Asian 2002 in 15th, 16th is X Gamer, 17th is Crowhawk, Cassidy in 18th, 19th is Chain Game Wow, and Gadabo in the 20th position.
I'm just stunned. I'm stunned.
So Max Iris finished in the 6th position. Not sure how many points that is going to be awarded, but I still believe that Timo is 2nd place.
I'm still lost for words.
So we will talk
This,
to. Go ahead.
I'm still absolutely stunned that we have I I'm stunned about this about with Timo. He's unbelievable today. Another victory in the bag. He's just adding the drivers in. And
Oliver,
is it possible, Tim? Is it possible?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible for him to win the championship, and he's going to have a lot of good races. It is not over yet. Carwin Robb has done a fantastic job this season to ensure that he has a significant lead, and these are the reasons why you want that lead, because he has a cushion to fall back on.
So I kind of KXI due to the settings, so someone has to invite KXI.
So, Timo, after today, who had the fastest lap, Oliver?
And that would be Carmen Robb, but he would not score that point, unfortunately.
So, after today, Timo has 151 points to Carwin Robb's 215.
And speaking of the driver in question...
Exactly. He is now in here. So, that means that he is only 64 points out of Carwin Robb's lead.
Matting! And everyone's in, Tim, so yeah, they're all yours.
All right, so first things first, guys, please make sure you've allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings, click Always Allow, and let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Do we have KXI in here too? All three of us.
Yeah, I'm in there.
All right, perfect. I heard a voice I did not recognize, so nice to meet you. We'll talk to you here in a minute, but we will talk to our winner. First things first of Timo in the Mercedes. Timo, this is the second time this season that you have won 2 races in a row, and what me and Oliver were talking about before you joined is you are now, by my math, in second place in the standings, 64 points away from Carwin Robb. What are your realistic championship goals now?
I don't know. If it continues like this, I'll be champion with 5 races to go or something like that. But I'm just trying to give it everything for the drivers and constructors and hopefully get 1 championship, yeah, at the end.
So what was it like just during that entire race? Because it was a constant DRS train, it was constant overtaking, which, you know, seems to contradict each other, but somehow didn't. And at the same time, it was just a big cluster where, for the most part, drivers kept it clean. So what was it like for you having to navigate all that?
Yeah, not that hard. I just took it easy, didn't get any warnings at all throughout the whole race, and just made sure I kept my nose clean, didn't get any penalties, and ended up into the lead.
How are you feeling now, Timo, that you're under 100 points behind Carwin Robb, who didn't score points today? And again, that's two times in 2 races where you scored maximum points and he didn't score a single point. I mean, Carwin Robb has led the championship all season, and how do you feel now going into Singapore that you could, within 2 races, if it carries on, you could be within 2 races away of overtaking Carwin Robb for the championship lead?
Yeah, it will be an amazing story, just joining halfway through and winning the championship. But realistically, he's still like 2 races ahead of me, so I would need to get very lucky if I want to catch up and overtake him in the championship.
And how was the race? And how was the strategy with Mansell and Morris? And how was things in the Merc camp anyway?
Pretty calm, at least on my side. Morris was a bit angry at himself for spinning on the final lap, but we still scored some good points and got some points on Haas.
Well,
so how do you feel about Singapore?
I don't know. I really like that track. I like basically all street circuits, but I've no idea if my pace is any good. So we'll find out in a week's time.
Well, congratulations, Timo, on your win. Your second time winning 2 races in a row this season. We'll go talk
Can
to
he get the third, though?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Can he get the third?
I hope so.
But to get the third, it would imply that you have to not win a race. So I don't know how he'd feel about that. So we'll talk to the Alpine now of Sonic Hawk, your second place driver. So Sonic, you know my first question for you, my friend, is staying out on the soft tires that were 10 laps old. I commend you.
There were 13 actually. 13, 14 laps.
Yeah, I mean, the safety car came early. It came at the wrong time. So, I couldn't go on the hards because had I gone on the hards, I would have been a sitting duck anyway. So I thought I'll gamble with the softs because anyway the safety car would be for 3 laps. So I had to stretch those tires for 13 laps. But I guess the last safety car was a blessing, because that was completely unexpected. Otherwise, my tires would have been dead.
Well, I definitely commend you for staying out on those old tires. And I was saying during the stream that you have nothing to lose. You might as well just risk it. And personally, I'm glad you did. You got a fantastic result, your best result on the season with a second place finish. It has been a very rough season for you. So now that your results are starting to turn around, you've had 2 podiums in the last 3 races. How are you feeling?
I really don't want to get ahead of myself because I know both the podiums, they were not on pure pace and they were circumstantial because I had the right strategy at the right time. So so I don't want to get ahead of myself. I know there's a lot of work to be done with respect to my gameplay and how I control the car. So I think there's still a lot to learn.
Singapore coming at Sonic Hawk?
It's definitely not one of my best tracks. I'll just try to bring the car home because it's a nightmare on pad. I think the wheel guys, it's a bit easy on the wheel, but on the pad it's a nightmare. So yeah, I'll just try to bring the car home and hope for the best.
Well, congratulations, Sonic Hawk, on your podium. We will talk to our third place.
Thanks a lot, guys.
We will talk to our third place finisher now of KXI. KXI in the Alpha Tower. You start outside of the top 10 and you work your way up to finish in third. And we don't know exactly where you came from. We're going to just throw that out there right now. We looked up and noticed your name during the safety car. So how was it that you put a race together that saw you enter the top 10 within the first couple of laps, somehow navigating the carnage, and then to ultimately finish third at the end?
Yeah, well, I mean, I started P17 and horrendously bottled my qualifying, so that was disaster from the start. But I thought I'm going to be bold, I'm going to use a soft tyre and try and clear as much of the field as I can in the first stint. Safety car was a blessing. It came on the lap I wanted to pit on, so yeah, from there I went in, was in the top 10, and then just capitalised on others' mistakes, really. Taking the penalties as well and see where I can get. It's fortunate to get into the top 3, so happy for that.
So this, you are a reserve, correct? So this would be your first podium on the season. Are you maybe thinking about trying to find a full-time drive?
Yeah, this was my first race tonight as well, so...
oh wow, a debut as well.
Yeah,
you could have picked a good race for a podium then.
Hopefully there's more, yeah. But yeah, when a full-time seat comes available, I'll be up for it, of course. So, yeah.
So how are you settling into Speed Force Racing anyway? How are you settling in?
Well, I'm quite new. I think I joined yesterday, I think. Got a drive tonight. So yeah, the grid seems like quite quick at the front and clean. And so yeah, happy. Look forward to driving him more, for sure.
Yeah, if you're talking Fred to the grid, you're talking Timo, yes?
Yeah, for sure. In North as well.
Well, I got a little piece of trivia for you, is that the last 2 drivers to get a podium on their debut race, It was Asian 2002 last week, and then Timo in Hungary. So one of those has been winning a lot. The other one had a DNF today. So I'm going to let you choose which one's footsteps you follow in.
Wow.
I think.
Hopefully I can carry the trend of some good results then in that case.
And to be fair, Asian 2002 would have had some good results. He just, small unfortunate mistake that saw him DNF on, I believe, the front straightaway. But it was a chaotic race. Tell us a little bit about that, about working your way through the carnage, since you did start near the back and finish near the front.
Yeah, well, as I say, it was people around me were on the medium tire from the start, and I selected the soft tire just to give myself the best chance of clearing the field as quickly as I can, and then was able to gain like 7 or 8 positions by the time safety car comes out. So safety car was good timing for me, so that's pretty much how it happened. And then obviously gained no penalties at the end as well, so I think I finished on track 4th and then gained a position under penalties, so just like that really.
Well, congratulations on your podium in your first race, and maybe we'll see you later on, maybe not, but we hope you had fun regardless, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it was good fun. Thanks.
And hopefully we do see you in Singapore.
Yeah, I'd be available for Singapore as a reserve. I'd be there for sure.
And with that, that is all the time that we have. But thank you all so much for those of you who watched the stream. Thank you to all the drivers who raced with us. And congratulations to our podium finishers. And until next time, good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Have fun, and goodbye.